What's up? My name is Rob Ellis, Pink Development Construction, and you guys know I just started a new YouTube channel called Miami Development. Now, Mr. Jack Doherty is a content creator, and I'm also a content creator, but he's crossing over into the world of real estate, which is where I have 12 years of experience. And we're going to look at his investments today and see how he's doing as a single family home luxury investor in in Miami-Dade County and Broward County. We're going to look at his real estate holdings and decide. We're going to rate his portfolio 1 to 10 and his strategy overall. We're going to rate his team, his investment advisors, his lawyers, and see if there's room for improvement for Mr. Jack Doherty to protect some of his money. If you want to, I don't think he's a great real estate investor. I think he's got a lot of exposure. I'll break this all down. I think he could protect his privacy. I think he could break apart his I think he could do a lot better if he's putting his wealth into real estate holdings. I think he could I think he could do a better job. I get flexing and showing how much money you're spending, but it as an internet personality, it opens up him to a lot of targets. For my real estate entities, they're separately structured. I don't post about them. I post about the addresses, and people could always look up the holdings if they're as sophisticated as I am. Thank God for public records. There's nothing that's secret about Mr. Doherty, even his mortgages, the deeds that he signs, his conveyance tax, nothing is a secret. And so we're going to break this down and see how he's doing. The name of his entities, what states it's incorporated, in case anyone ever wants to go look it up, you can. I've got 12 years of real estate development experience, ground up national construction, 600 property transfers and sales. I've been licensed as a real estate agent. I was licensed in Florida, but I let it go. So licensed, and this is all public. You guys, there's nothing secret about this. Everything I'm doing is legal. I didn't hire a PI or do anything. So let's break it down. Jack Doherty's real estate holdings. This is Mr. Doherty. Today is March 9th. This is Mr. Doherty's post. And he's tagging his, I think his wife now. Let's check it out. Let's break this open.
Our last signatures. There you go. You sign. Let's go, baby. Shake it up. Let's go. Guys, our first child as a couple. How do I do this? It'll slowly come. Shake it more. Shake it more.
Now, this is who we're going to focus on and who ultimately led us to all the public information that we want to find out. Because realtors, if there's anything like working with a celebrity, realtors love to flex too. This guy's name is DM Danny. I'll be breaking down his real profiles and name in the video that I'm doing. This is Creators Inc. house.
This is the fourth crib I bought in Fort Lauderdale like this year. So, oh, yeah.
When he says this is the fourth crib, he means single family detached home. Let's just keep it straight because we're investing here. Okay, let's read through some of the comments. No one's proud of you, bro. I think she makes more money than you, so she bought the house. We are in Florida. She needs a home arcade. Nobody cares. She only with you for the money. Congrats. Well done, Jack. The first 3 cribs went into foreclosure for payment default. No, they didn't. Congrats. I genuinely think the new house is awful. Good luck in bankruptcy. Bro's printing. Congrats. Housewarming gift coming soon. Anyone reading this comment, I hope you're mad. This kid's flexing on you. I hate this kid, but he's brilliant for what he does. Not for his real estate strategies, maybe for his creating and other stuff. We're the motivated crazy work. Creators Inc. Your girlfriend is not pretty. Congrats and glad you're looking and feeling better. I'm shocked he hasn't dumped you yet. You got a baby face. Calling all crocodiles. I heard bro was broke. Bro, let me fly out and do some content. Bro, so if I buy a house, can I get famous? I'm not sure where this is. Let's see here. 3.5 is a good deal. He better. All right, guys, he's better than you. Bro's girlfriend is literally just with him for the money. You rent them, not bought. Big difference. That's not right. He actually is buying them. I support you guys. Most punchable face. Better get a prenup. That's not a bad idea, especially if you're giving her half of what you were. Soon as they split, she's taking half. Real estate holdings are a great way to do it. Depends where you organize. That was a rental agreement. Redistribute the wealth. How does this low life? Lots of cocaine. You won't be shit when the grid goes out. Nobody cares. Who cares? Keep it up. If she breaks up with you, she gets the house. Fight me. BBC going to stretch her at 55. Cut your stupid hair. Can you buy me a two-bedroom? Divorce calling. If you didn't have money, she wouldn't be with you. You need a pool guy now. Can I get a job? I'm going to stop people giving you money. LOL. He's probably lying just to make a stupid video. Your content sucks. Okay. I think you guys get it. So, a lot of these people bring up great concerns, which is dower rights in the state of Florida. Is there any way to get around them? Let's talk about that. Let's just go to our friend ChatGPT. What's the best way to avoid dower rights and hold all real estate separately from a wife in Florida? How to propose legal structure. Dower rights do not exist. They were abolished. Homestead laws and spousal rights. Forming an LLC for each individual LLC provides protection, allows you to manage it. Title transfer to a trust, which is what I would recommend, an irrevocable land trust. A prenup agreement can define your real estate. Title property in your name only with a waiver of homestead rights. Use a domestic asset protection trust, which is what Jack's entity is not based in Florida. We'll go through that here. Separate bank accounts, provide a land trust. How can my wife not get any interest in real property I purchase? A prenup or postnup agreement, title real estate in a trust. That means outside of your name, it can't be considered, which we'll get into this too. I have no idea why Jack is not using land trust or any kind of trust and title property in your name with a waiver. Okay. Avoid joint title or tenancy in common. If I have my wife sign on the real estate, is that a bad idea? Would that open me up to her if we get a divorce? This is what we're talking. So we're talking about asset planning, asset protection, marital funds. Now that Jack's married, he should be considering what if these comments are true? And his wife does sign on the papers. In case you guys are wondering, that is her signing real deed and conveyance. And we're going to go through those because those documents are public record. So, how do we find this house? I'm going to break down the process for you. Jack Doherty, again, we found his realtor, Daniel Alexander. DM Danny. Okay, he's got some If you look through his reels, you find it. So we look at Daniel Alexander, Lifestyle International Realty. Now, I believe this is the property they bought. I can't prove it because um, it hasn't been recorded yet. It can take some time from when you close, but if there's anything that realtors love doing, it's getting, um, it's receiving. So, Mr. Daniel, even though Jack's records may be private, he did not sign a confidentiality agreement with Jack on where this property or being able to advertise it. So that means that because Mr. Daniel Alexander, if I was a real estate attorney representing her in a divorce, which I'm not an attorney, this isn't legal advice, but I know real estate and I know how to find real estate entitlements, real estate property owners. We're going to break it all down in this video, but Mr. Daniel Alexander should have signed a confidentiality agreement with Mr. Jack Doherty. He should have required it like Drake or some of the others, and his real estate companies are private. Now, there's even other ways. Obviously, putting your business out here, don't put the actual documents on here or put fake examples. I try to blow that up and record it on my phone just to see if it's possible. It's not. It's pretty grainy. But he does start this by showing the legal documents that he's signing as well. And you can see here,
All right, guys, me and McKinley just bought a
you're going to see
$5 million house on the water in Fort Lauderdale.
these documents right here. I wouldn't recommend that you put these. These are public. This document right here, though, is not. This is called, used to be called a HUD. Now they're called CDs, closing disclosure forms. That is never going to be public. Okay. There's a lot of people involved. He's signing this that is what he claims is personal residence, but
We are our last signatures. There you go. You sign. Let's go, baby. Shake it up.
now he says they bought it together and they both signed up here at the top, which more than likely we'll go through some of these documents. More than likely he did sign it with her. And because of that,
Go.
we're going to break it down. So after Mr. Daniel Alexander, I can go and look up his transfers as well. If he recommended that or if he's allowed to publish those, he can request that those be private. Florida does respect privacy and again, everything's negotiable. So if I was dealing with a young realtor with only 4 years of experience who's also trying to flex on the influencers or who's branding himself as a celebrity real estate agent, DM Danny. This is going to be his website. I'm pretty sure dmdanny.com. Let's see if we can find it. I'm not sure, but I think let's see, dmdanny.com. No. But he does have a landing page. If you go to this, here is Daniel Alexander. If we look here at dmdanny.com, let's check it out. He's going to have his DM Danny Reynolds, and this is him. Exotic and Leisure, Elevated Experience, book now. I'm Danny, and you can contact me this way. Our properties. Now, these are probably his properties for rent, and I'm guessing that he's helping manage some of these properties, potentially. We're not sure. But again, this is a new website, Danny Reynolds. I don't think there's actually an incorporated business here. I doubt it. Most people aren't that sophisticated. His policy is his privacy policy. Let's check it out. You have to have one. He doesn't even have a privacy policy. So again, non-compliant. So we're gonna just pretend that DM Danny knows what he's doing as an elite real estate and Xander Vaughn Group. Let's check this out. South Florida luxury real estate team. Here you go. They are organized. Looks like it's out of business, unincorporated, inactive. Okay. So we're definitely not doing well with that one. And let's see here. Xander Vaughn. I don't think it's that. XanderVonGroup.com. You can see it's right here in his bio as well. Out of business. Okay, not a good sign. So if you're working with a realtor, guys, make sure at least their websites are functional. Or bring it up to them. Hey, I don't want you to post this all over your website. I don't want you to post it on your LinkedIn. I don't want you to post this on your Instagram or your YouTube channel, unless that's what you want. Okay. Now he posts some other stuff.
You, I love this. Add my collection, you know? Okay.
He bought him a gift, very customary. This is celebrity realtor, DM Danny. Okay. People are saying replica, straight replica. It's just funny, man, how much people hate on real estate. This is another one.
Congratulations to Jack and McKinley, two young
This is a homestead property. This property also isn't public, but they're buying a lot in Southwest ranches. When Jack got here, he was all over social media trying to talk to people about finding things like that. So this is an example of some of the stuff that he's doing. He's working with, I don't know if I would consider all these people right, celebrities. And I'm not even sure how these guys got connected. He probably knows them from New York. This guy's from New York, I think, and or Maryland, somewhere in the north, and so is Jack. But because Jack bought that, then we start breaking down. You look at some of the other holdings, okay, by some of these guys, and you end up finding one of the other properties that Jack actually sold. This is the one that he bought. This is the one that's listed. It doesn't show a transfer yet, but one of the things that Jack's doing a poor job of is concealing property records, which means transfers, his name, his entities, and the legal documents that sign it. He could have a power of attorney signed for him. He could have a trust manager, a real estate investment trust that also deeds it to an LLC, and we'll go through that structure in a second. But this will be recorded eventually. And these are neighborhood sales, but this is what I believe to be the home that Jack Doherty bought. It wasn't for 3.5, it was 3,375, but we're going to keep moving down the line here. So I looked up BGT, that's a current owner. It wasn't this one. Let me see where I ended up going next. Somehow I ended up finding one of Jack's LLCs, and this is it right here. This is the recorder's site. Okay, and while you can put different transfers in the state of Florida, this is legal to put different transfers. You're going to actually see right here Jack Doherty and Banger Official LLC. You're going to start looking at his witnesses here. There's all sorts of deeds, and this is going to be his entity. So, Banger Official, he bought one and sold it before. He sold the same one. This is, the person that bought this put it in a single purpose entity, which is what we do in real estate development. Jack's properties are all held in the same LLC. So, he had someone punch him in the face earlier and they named him and if I know his entities, I'm going to sue his LLC as well, Banger Official. And if I win a lawsuit, it's going to give me and allow me to collect on all of his real estate holdings. You could see his signatures right here, Jack Doherty. Now you only do it on the buy side. Typically, it shows the conveyances, Banger Official from them. This is one of the more recent ones that Banger Official bought. And I don't know who Julian Hicks is, but we're gonna check. Grantor's hand and seal, first witness. For some reason, the state of Florida does want witnesses. So a lot of these you can actually see where these individual properties are being purchased. Now, if I look up Banger Official, this is multiple ways to look up who's incorporated them. This was incorporated in 2021. It is local. And again, this is going to be something that you don't want to do. You don't want your personal name. You don't want personal addresses. This is probably the name. This is probably when it was organized. We can look it up. Nassau County Auditor and um, property search. Land record lookup. And this is going to be County Long Island. And I can just look up an address. This is what people that know stuff do. They look you up and they find out where you're organized and they go after your holdings. 111 Littleworth. And that looks like a house that you wouldn't want someone to come and collect. It's not worth that much. The assessed values typically aren't that far off, not by 50%, but let's see here. If we're looking at the owners, general and school taxes, description. Normally you can look up transfers, property tax, property card, sketch. Normally it has a titled interest, recent sales, property description. Interesting. 2005. That's interesting. Normally it's, I have to pull up the property card. Well, this county must be a little bit different, but if I was really a nerd, I could go to the recorder's site, which we're going to go into a little bit, but general values, this doesn't say who purchased it though. So typically it's a lot more information. But let's just say that's his parents' house. It was bought in 2005, so my doubt is that he bought a house when he was 10 years old or 5 years old. Who knows how old he is? I don't know. Let's see what year he was born. 2003. So um he didn't buy a house when he was 2 years old. When we keep looking down here, you can see Jack's Doherty's signature. And you can see that he organized this. And again, if he's the statutory agent, as he grows, he should spend a little bit on real estate attorneys, which he hasn't clearly. And that is just to structure everything properly to protect his real estate interests. If he's flexing buying $5 to $10 million worth of real estate holdings, which isn't much, let's just say though that it's something to be proud of. Then again, you're going to want to keep an eye on your holdings. So let's see here. A lot of these public documents or some other related, some of these can be related and you can look at other, New York State's pretty good and some of these LLCs are pretty good. But when you look up Banger Official, you're going to find this is the recorder site, Broward County. Since he loves posting where he's buying it, we're going to go through and we're going to look at some of these things, what each one of these is. So this is a affidavit seller. So this is selling the following described property to. So two individuals bought one of his houses. It shows where the company is organized. This is the kind of stuff you can't fake. Here's Jack Doherty that signed it, Banger Official as an entity. Again, if I'm a celebrity, if I'm getting millions of views and millions of followers, I'm going to get a statutory attorney. I'm not going to be signing, I'm going to give power of attorney or I'm going to sign it in private or put it in a trust. But Jack's not too sophisticated. He might transfer that in the future. Here's another one. This is a warranty deed, 11th day of September from Banger Official and is organized is going to sell this house, $10 another consideration. You're going to see Jack Doherty's signature again. Julian Hicks, I have no idea who that person is. And typically you're going to have to put some of your mailing addresses as well. Here's another one. Indenture. This is a warranty. Banger Official, witness in consideration of $10. This says grantor. Okay, it's going to show this. Again, Mustang Trail. This is going to be, but this is a deed transfer to Banger Official. This is probably when he bought it. And again, you sign documents more when you sell. This shows the conveyance taxes. You can see the transfers. Now, the consideration here, as you get more official, you're going to do a better job. You're going to be able to hide and conceal some of these. Now, this is an open-ended mortgage. This is a this is why I know that Jack isn't really doing as well as he says because he's putting 50% down on his real estate. It's actually more than 50% down. If you look at the transfer price when he bought it, 1.7, the lender was willing to lend 750,000. This is a DSCR loan more than likely, which means they're only lending 750,000 on 1.775 million, which is 42%. And that's because of the type of real estate that Jack's buying. It's pretty poor. If you look up this company, HML Investments, they are a hard money lender. These are predatory lenders. I'll show you here in a sec, but these are guys about us, hard money lenders to experience our borrowers, open-ended mortgages, reverse mortgages, construction loans, hard money, conventional loans, and real estate investment loans. I would say 40%. If I'm the lender, I'm winning on this because I'll lend 42%. And new construction loans that we do ground up, single family construction with 5+ new builds of experience, you can get up to 85%. And that's on a hard money lender that's like maybe 2 points and 11%. The rates start at 6.5 to 7%. This is residential. This definitely isn't a fix and flip loan, but that is a very low LTV. And traditionally, I've gotten DSCR loans, but I've never gotten under 75%. So Jack probably put down about $1 million on this. And so to tie up $1 million, probably to break even on this, I'm sure this property doesn't return that much of an investment return with property management, short-term rentals. These are single family home investments in suburban markets of Fort Lauderdale. It's not going to compete with the building that I live in, which is the W that gets 100, 200 a night. That's on Airbnb that has 500 units here. Jack could have bought 2 to 3 units here and done very well. He bought that home for quite, let's look it up. Let's see how many square feet it is. Mustang Trail, 3,200 square feet on 2.5 acres. Now, if you can split this, maybe it was good for the land. The land is probably worth more than the home itself. This is a pretty ugly looking property. If you look up this home, let's see if it's something to be proud of. It says it was investment. Again, why you want to get confidentiality agreements so that people can't cover yours. I would not call this, uh, I would not want to own this property. And every time you sell, you typically lose about 8%. So I'm guessing Jack broke even on this. If we look back at the transfers, let's go back to the recorder's office. Where was that? 1.7, 2.2. So that's about 220. He probably lost from realtor fees and closing. So did he make some money? He sold that 2 months later. Um, Gosh, I have no idea why. Did he make 10% on his money? Sure. Maybe he made that if he didn't improve anything. It looks like a pretty ugly house to begin with. So again, I wouldn't be flexing. This is an open-ended mortgage though. You can read, these are public. If you want to read his mortgages, let's check all the way at the bottom and look for that signature that we like. And again, you see Mr. Jack Doherty and Richardson McKinley Richardson, 14305 Sterling Road. 14305 Sterling Road. Now, I believe this to be Jack's personal residence. You guys have seen it, $12 million. Let's see if he actually does own the home that he lives in. Again, why you shouldn't put, you guys need to get P.O. boxes. Jack should be getting maybe a statutory attorney. He should be putting other mailing addresses, not his personal residence because of this. This is a very well-known house. And again, if he wants it to be out there, okay. Let's take a look at 14305 Sterling Road, Broward County Auditor. Property search. This is going to show you how to look up houses that Jack owns, guys. If you want to go drive by his house, you can now. Let's see here. That's definitely not where you go. We're going to look by address. And what was it? We looked it up. It was 14305 Sterling. Now with homestead exemptions, okay, so here we go. We have a secondary LLC and we're going to check this. This is again, let's check this. Let's see what the transfers were. Gosh, I just don't, it's hard for me to believe that this is owned. Let's check the deed transfers. I think that was the real estate transfer before him. Let's go back. Did I lose that? Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's check this out. Again, this is a primary, so they probably did an open-ended mortgage as well, and we'll double check it. So at least he's, we're going to check this entity as well, South Miami LLC. And this was in 2022. Let's check this entity out. David Salaman. This is incorporated. Let's see who David Salaman is. It's good to know who people are, guys. Okay, this could be a lawyer, could be a lot of things. Registered agent for 4 entities. Bayview. He's got some other ones. The S, Brickell. Let's see who David is. He's an executive director of a mental health counselor. So I doubt that Jack owns his house, but let's go ahead and check the recorders. Again, Broward County Auditor. This guy's smart. He's diversifying his real estate holdings. Whoops. Oh yeah, we're gonna look up the recorders. So recorder, Broward County. And we're gonna look up for a name. And we're gonna be looking up this entity, guys, which is 2140 South Miami. This guy bought this in two entities. I wouldn't recommend buying two real estate holdings. And here we go. Let's check. Mario, Rantor. Okay, let's check this. Here's a mortgage, and we can look at who signed this, which is probably David. David, sole member. Okay, so unfortunately, Jack does not own his home in Southwest Ranches. This guy got a mortgage for $3 million. Um, here's another one. Here's an assignment of mortgage. This is a sale typically. So someone that underwrites a mortgage, someone bought it. That means that someone else bought a this federal deposit. They assigned it, and that means that now probably JP Morgan owns it. So unfortunately, Jack doesn't own his house, guys. He tried, but it's not his. So he's buying things in this entity that we talked about. That we're still not quite done looking at his real estate holdings. We were somewhere around here, but again, he's buying things in a DSCR loan, and I wouldn't recommend it. Let's see what else we got here. Is purchasing the following company. Here's Jack Doherty signing as a member, New York Limited. And that's their personal residence now. If you're moving a lot, Jack's not gonna live in that home unless he's gonna buy it from the guy. But unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. You guys know who owns Jack's house now, Mr. David. Let's keep looking here. This is a warranty deed. This is the same thing, Mustang Trail. This is when he bought it. This is back in July, right? So you see, this is what it takes a little bit of time for the transfers to go through. And let's see what else here. Jack Doherty. Before me, personally appeared Jack. Banger is purchasing the following. You see how this is written, Sky 18 Series 5. That's what you should be doing. Okay. Now, Jack has no privacy. He can sign this. Again, let's just do a quick ChatGPT if you guys don't believe it. If I don't want my name to appear on deed documents and mortgages, can I have a power of attorney sign it? Or how can I keep my name off in the state of Florida on public documents that can be found in recorder's site? Let's see here. Use an LLC, which the LLCs appears. This is what we're talking about. Then the LLC's registered agent. Use a land trust. This is what we were talking about. Land trust can purchase your trustee's name, not yours. You are the beneficiary. This is exactly what we're talking about. Jack should be using, and this is what we're talking about, using a POA. POAs are required to disclose that you're acting on behalf, but you can use a proxy buyer, which is popular. They can transfer it through a private agreement. How to make sure my name is nowhere public anywhere. Maximum. Several strategy. Form an anonymous LLC. Okay, so don't make an LLC in New York where you're from in your hometown and put your home address on it and put your name as the registered agent and then buy all your entities in it. Very bad strategy. Florida's a non-disclosure state. Actually, it does, but you want to pick other ones, which is what we're going to talk about. Appoint a third-party registered agent. Costs $90. Don't use your personal address. That's what I just said. This is what I do. You can't find my name anywhere. You can't find my entities. You can't find that. Even on banking records, you can't find me. There's nothing that's public on any of the LLCs that I purchase. Use a land trust or property title. This is what we're talking about. Power of attorneys, proxy buyer, open a business bank, limit, be careful with other things, file all sorts of stuff to provide it. He really needs a real estate attorney to talk about some of these things. You don't really, but this is exactly what I would do. Purchase it in a Florida land trust for a Wyoming LLC transfer. And one of the other things is I used to do zero transfers on properties that I owned. I'm going to show you an example of that on a property that I bought in Franklin County, Columbus, Ohio, where I do deals. This is a single purpose entity, 2061 Ford. I sold this for, um, I bought this for $350,000 in this entity. I sold it within 6 months for 500,000. And you can see the transfers here. It's maybe, I don't know, 6 months. So I made about $150,000, one of my biggest checks ever. This is purchased in an LLC. It's called a drop and swap. It shows a zero transfer. This person purchased it in her name on a general warranty deed and then sold it for 660, which is just insane. It was a 12-bedroom deal, about 3,000 square feet. That again, I used to buy and sell multifamily properties. This is again two transactions. Um, And this is how you show a zero transfer. And to do this strategy, it's called a drop and swap. You create an entity, you write it in your purchase agreements. You end up transferring the seller transfers their interest to an entity. It's the purchasers of a real estate business, and it shows a zero transfer. And this shows a general warranty deed. You could go look it up if you're sophisticated, but this is to show preservation. What happens when you purchase things like this and they get reassessed? You can see how this basis is now $600,000 and the taxes are now $10,000. So people like Jack are absolutely as low financial literacy as it comes, and so is the agents that represent him. Very low financial literacy. Their taxes are going to go up. They're buying single family homes. They're buying detached. They're buying old properties. It's one of the worst strategies. I work with beginning investors and they're still employing better real estate strategies than Jack Doherty, the internet influencer. But for all intents and purposes, let's just say he's doing a good job. This is what you want to do. Okay, now this similar structure you can do in Florida. And it talks about the exact strategy that we talked about, which is how do I show privacy and preserve my basis? Your basis is what you purchase for, and not have it public and not have guys flexing. Don't let people publish them on the MLS as comparable sales. Get straw buyers, make land trusts, find a power of attorney, make sure you have a statutory agent, incorporate a PO box. I have a PO box in Miami. If you want to mail to it, here you go. PO box 121128. It costs $100. Walk down, you can't find them. I go there once a month to check my mail. Okay, there's lots of ways for Jack to stay that, but he also wants to ensure anonymity. He also wants to be incorporated in states that protect dower interest. Right now, he is a this is me asking about. We'll talk about the strategy right here, but how people. This is one of the questions. So, how do I absolutely make sure that my wife has no interest in my real estate? First of all, don't let her sign on your papers publicly. Second of all, now if he wants to share everything with her, okay. But most people that go through divorces, like Jeff Bezos, let's just see how much he lost. How much did Jeff Bezos lose in his divorce? 36 billion. Okay. Now, What is the largest divorces in history? Neil Diamond was like 800 million, I think. 36 billion. Some of these people, Rupert, Maddox, the Win, these are real estate guys. These are insane transfers. Now, maybe that was part of it. You have to look at how to structure, but early investors and when you structure entities, you need to be careful. The Musks, same thing. Um, do you think he would restructure his entity if he could take it back? Did he make any public statements about the settlement? How could he have not given her any? If he could go back, how would he protect his assets? Prenup and post-nup agreements, trust structures again. And I would also recommend offshore. And there's also the Cook Islands. Um, exactly, Cook Islands, where they don't recognize gag orders or court orders from, separate property designation, holding companies, pre-I, pre-O. These are the types of things that you know, you want to look for. And with Jack growing his wealth from, he's putting his real estate money into, or he's putting his influencing money into real estate. It's garbage real estate to begin with. It's waterfront, single family detached homes built more than 30 years ago. There's much better ways to allocate $1 million. You know, I do land entitlement and we make 5x multiples on land. I could make $5 million on $1 million in 1 year with a strategy like that. But if he wants to be a DM Danny, he can do whatever he wants. It's Jack's money, and I respect his right to waste it. But there's much more advanced structures. So this talks about it, the irrevocable trust. He would be the sole member. He would have some of the same agreements. They wouldn't be signing it, DAPTs, and as well as keeping separate bank accounts and financial records, and also getting land trusts in Florida. But I probably wouldn't organize in Florida. This is how I would be doing it. Cook Islands, with beneficiaries, being named. So I'm not an expert. Again, I'm not a real estate attorney. I'm not a real estate person, but I do know I work with real estate attorneys and attorneys every day. I fight municipalities for high density projects in Columbus, and also I'm starting down here in Miami, Florida, but I wouldn't do it. And then this is a question that we asked. Open-ended DSCR mortgages, that's what Jack used to purchase his real estate. I said, are they predatory? And that means what can they take advantage of people? And this is exactly what we're talking about. Unsophisticated borrowers may overlook complex conditions that require increasing cash flow. They have balloon payments. Jack's had a balloon payment. You can read it. They have very low LTVs. The people that won here is that because if Jack ends up can't selling it or do anything, owning the debt on real estate and being able to take it for pennies on the dollar is not a bad idea. So equity, I play in the equity field, so equity investments, but again, I would rate Jack's real estate strategy as probably like a 2 out of 10. I'd rate his realtor's financial knowledge. Mr. Daniel Alexander with Lifestyle International Realty, I would rate it like maybe a 2 out of 10 as well. And I think they could do a lot better, but I just wanted to show that while it is fun to flex, guys, those dollars, Jack has limited resources. He's not a billionaire. He's not even close to it. He doesn't own the house that he lives in. He leases it and he owns some single family homes. And in a few weeks, we'll have the public knowledge of what he covers. This is going to be on my YouTube channel, Miami Development. We're covering real estate developments. And I thought it'd be fun to see what fake flexers are really doing with their real estate and ranking not only their representations, but their real estate investments from 1 to 10. Also, how easy it is to go after their assets on a scale from 1 to 10. How easy would it be to get Jack's assets? I would say a 7 out of 10. He is in an LLC, but very poor job of diversifying, maintaining privacy. When you put a lot of real estate or things in real estate, you want to protect that, okay? And he's not doing a good job. So I think it'd be very easy for a divorce attorney. Just go to talk to guys that, my job as a real estate person is to find out how to take your money. I've done consulting for real estate shell companies and stuff like that. And so, I mean, in less than 20 minutes, I was able to find Jack's real estate holdings. So overall, would I recommend working with Mr. Daniel Alexander? No. Would I recommend following Jack Doherty's real estate advice? No, I wouldn't. Um, he traded up, he sold that property, right? He made a small return. I guess you could say $200,000 on $1 million. 20% is not bad. I would say that's more of like because he probably bought it off market or took advantage of a seller. He probably bought it off market and thought he could make a lot of money. I didn't look at the listing history. I guess we could. Let's check it out. Southwest Ranches, Mustang Trail. I think this is the one he sold. Let's see how long I was listed for. Everything's public records. And let's check it out. Typically, Realtor.com is pretty accurate in terms of expected values. It's over 2 million. Again, I wouldn't be, and typically this is going to be the property history. This was sold at public records, not off market. It was listed for rent. I don't know what happened, but 6,000 $6,000 as a rental on this much money is absolutely insane. Gosh, absolute garbage, dude. $2 a square foot isn't bad. That's, we get that. I get that on apartment deals in Columbus, Ohio. I don't know if you can get 6,000, but it was listed in September. It sold in 1 day, which means he probably left some money on the table. Again, he probably bought it off market. It says public record. And you could see like the benefits of owning real estate in Florida are increasing, things like that. But man, I guess $3 a square foot's not bad. But I get close to 250 to 260 on apartment deals in Columbus, Ohio. So I wouldn't be bragging about getting $3 a square foot in rent in Florida. And buying a property that's 57 years old, I wouldn't either. And there's nothing to brag about his real estate portfolio. Again, he made 200 grand, which is great. It shows probably more than he's making on his YouTube and other stuff, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but I know YouTubers that get views and it's fun to do content creating. It opens up lots of doors. It's fun to do stuff, but at the end of the day, like what really grows wealth is if you're growing your wealth and you should be preserving it, you should be spending 25,000 a year on a real estate attorney. So guys, that's it. If you want to go find out what Jack owns, go check out Banger. Um, what was it? I don't even like the name of this entity. What was it? Banger Official. Let me see if there's anything else we need to click. No, I think we clicked them all. That's all the deeds. So we'll have some new ones coming up, 2025. He said it's his fourth house that he bought this year. I doubt that he's putting things in different entities. This could be a single. He could have one in here, but let's see if there's any others. Jack Doherty, statutory agent, LLC. Oh wow, this Jack Doherty LLC. Oh wow. Okay, we're doing that. We're gonna have to check these out before we close this out, guys. Let's go back to the recorder site, see what's up. Nope, doesn't own any real estate. Let's check this other one. Look at that, guys. He used oh, here you go. Nope, he didn't. He used the statutory agent this time, but he's still, guys, please use statutory attorneys. Let's do Jack Doherty Properties. Still active, incorporated in there. Here we go, guys. Look at this. Registered agent. He still named it after his name, which I wouldn't recommend, but let's go check and see what it's doing. if it owns any properties in Broward County. Nope. You see, this is the kind of stuff that you're talking about. So um, this is what happens. Defendant Jack Doherty was an individual resident. Jack Doherty is Banger Official, New York, this Kong LLC, um, page 3, a Halloween party. This is when he got assaulted. There was a guy punched by the plaintiff in the face and live streamed it, 22 million followers. There's a YouTube video, right? And this is why you want to protect your assets because you want to be careful. So Jack Doherty, Banger LLC, you don't want people to know your entities. You don't want people to know what you own because if they can fire them and things happen like this, because Jack does things and punches people, right? Chase Cameron, whoever that is suing this man in California. And let's see here. Here's other people that are no, that's definitely not it. But so overall, that's everything, guys. So this is the legal entities and the court cases. If you guys want to read it, this is the entity. Again, you want to make new properties. If this is happening, you want to pull the real estate holdings out of it because if you win a judgment, he can't keep adding new LLCs. You want to transfer those properties and your holdings into other assets. So again, I gave my ratings. Jack Doherty, you guys know his LLCs, you know his properties, you know his realtors. If you guys want to go look it up for practice, that's how you do it. If you guys want to invest in real estate, new construction, development deals here in Miami, Florida, reach out. Okay. But hopefully you guys learned something here or there. And it's fun to, if you guys want me to rate a real estate, if you want me to rate or find out people's holdings and you know a little bit of information about that, please let me know. I love doing this stuff.